and welcome to another episode on Sarva Gunn Sampann. I'm your host, Anu, and I want to thank you for continuing along in this journey with me. My guest today is somebody who really lives by the values of honesty, kindness, compassion, loyalty, and really values a spiritual way of life. Her strengths include confidence and positive attitude. She derives these as much as she gives these back to her loved ones. Please join me in welcoming Kalaniti Ganapati Bagli. Kala, welcome to the show. And how are you?
I'm good. No, thank you so much for having me on the show. I'm really humbled that you have asked me to join you in this show. And congratulations on the show.
Thank you, Kala. The pleasure is all mine. And so we're going to have a conversation, which is broken up into certain segments. And we start with our first segment, which is called Bachchpan Ke Din. This is going back into your childhood and really talking about all the different aspects of your childhood that influenced you and helped you become the person you are today. So without further ado, let's go right back and take us down the memory lane.
Okay. So I am actually from Malaysia. I was born and raised in Malaysia. I was born on Malaysia's Independence Day, 31st of August, and born in Kuala Lumpur, the capital of Malaysia, and grew up in a suburb, Klang, just outside of Kuala Lumpur. There's a family of 6, 4 girls in our family. And my mom's a homemaker. Dad worked for the government, for the National Electricity Board. And mom and dad raised the 4 of us, the 4 girls. We went to a convent all throughout our school age, from young through our high school right there in Klang. Now, growing up in Malaysia, it's a multi-diverse, multicultural country. So we, from young, our parents have always taught us to always believe in ourselves, always remember to never give up, always achieve whatever you want to. My parents have always given us everything that we wanted, though we come from a humble background. They have never stopped us from achieving our dreams, like, whatever we wanted to do. They made sure that they provided the path and gave us the drive, or gave us the avenues that we needed to use for us to be able to fulfill what we needed to get in order to achieve our dreams. The 4 of us, the 3 of us are just 1 year apart. And again, coming from a multicultural, multi-diverse background, we were taught at a very young age to learn how to appreciate different cultures, different religion. We were taught tolerance. We were taught acceptance. We were taught how to be humble, how to respect, how to mutually believe and understand and be respectful with everyone else's belief, and always remember to treat everyone the way you want to be treated, and make sure that we celebrate each other's belief system or culture or religious celebration equally, like how you would celebrate your own. Therefore, coming from Malaysia, Diwali, Thaipusam, Chinese New Year, Eid, everything is a celebration for everyone. We all enjoyed it, mutually. And, when we are celebrating Eid, the Hindus wear Muslim garbs and we go and we celebrate. So, we always learned to respect, and we always took care of each other. We always helped out each other. So my parents, again, my father was a very social, and he always believed in helping and doing community work. He always helped a lot of people growing up. My father educated a lot of kids. My mom raised a lot of children, and she did babysitting. And through that, I have learned the virtues of helping and giving back and paying it forward. And that is where I learned the idea of, you know, paying it forward to the community or doing social services. It's my parents' upbringing, and what they brought to the table is what I am today, and what my belief system comes from is always taking care and trying to help people as much as I can and doing good for others.
That is incredible. You must be so proud of yourself and all the values that your parents have imbibed and instilled in you. So that is really wonderful. We'll move to our next segment, Kala, which is really now focusing on your journey through life. Please walk us through the struggles, the challenges of moving to another country, and everything that you accomplished in that phase. Please take us through that.
So, finished my high school, and then I worked a little bit in Malaysia. I was a bank finance. I worked in the financial field in Malaysia, and then I decided to come to the United States to study journalism. And I came to Pittsburgh, and I did my bachelor's in journalism and mass communication with a concentration in television broadcasting. And when I came here in 1997. And again, coming to US, I think like many of us immigrants, when we first came, we looked at US through the eyes of the movies and shows that we watched. And we thought that that is what made the United States. So we expected everything to be just like what we saw on TV. But when I first came here and landed in the US, and the realization finally hit me that everyone here were very personal, and it was a very superficial situation from what was seen. What we saw on TV was what we were not really seeing in the real life situation. And as an immigrant, as an international student, as an international community, it felt very lonely. And when I first arrived here, I felt very disengaged, disheartened about everything that I saw. And again, when the first few days when I was here, I was trying to find a purpose, and that loneliness was getting to me, and I was trying to figure out what I should do. And that's when going to the cafe, I realized that it was not only me who was feeling like that. A lot of the international students were feeling the same way, because number one, there was a language barrier, and a lot of them needed help because the international community had a problem asking for help. And I saw that because Muslim kids were going to the cafe and asking the lady if the hot dog was beef, and she said yes. And then the next international community student asked if it was pork, and she said yes. Now, a Muslim cannot eat pork, but you can't blame the cafe lady. So now there is a problem, but it was not the fault of the university community because they didn't know. So that's when I realized that, I had a purpose. I wanted to help. So we started an international community. We started helping each other out, and it soon turned into an international club, and it turned into a big organization, and we were all helping each other out. We started services where we were helping with what classes to sign up, because again, a lot of international students don't even know what classes they should be signing up for, what they should be doing for majors, because again, the international or the immigrants or even our refugees over here, they don't like or they don't know what they should ask help for. So these are the few things that set the stage for who I am today. But that's how it started, as me being a college student. And then I was chosen at that time, the first international student to be chosen to become an intern for NBC. And I was also named as who's who in American students in 2001. I was given that award, and I was also the best international student and best broadcast student that year. And then I graduated, and then I worked as a student advisor for University of Pittsburgh, and I was really happy because here I was making a difference in a lot of college students' life, being an advisor for financial aid and classes. And then from there, we again I was able to make a difference with a lot of our student community. And then I met my husband, got married, and then moved to Ohio. And here I started my career in a title company doing accounting. And then it moved into having kids and started working for a school. And that's how everything started. And then I started a small chess club in school because I was teaching my daughter how to play chess. And what started as a small chess club grew into something bigger today.
Awesome. No, we'll definitely cover those aspects, So really thank you for walking us through those initial days and the struggles, and hats off for spearheading. It was not like somebody came to you and said, hey, Kala, there's a problem. You observed through observation, you picked up some difficulties that international students were experiencing and not perhaps talking about, and you decided to do something about that. That kind of resourcefulness it's incredible, and kudos to you for taking that on, because these are real issues that people face, yet not many people are willing to talk about, because it makes, it puts them in a very awkward situation, always for the fear of somebody not understanding or seeing the problem. But anyways, we'll move on to our next segment, which is Kaam Ki Baat. And here I want you to talk about your decision to choose journalism, your career in broadcasting, why you left that, and you're doing what you're doing with chess. Please help us unravel that journey.
So broadcasting was something that I was passionate about when I was young, and I thought that was the career that I wanted to choose. Again, watching television growing up and thinking that, freedom of speech, you are going to go out there and you're going to be chasing after news. And then when you're in the scene, it's entirely a different ball game. There's a lot of filters. It's not exactly what you thought it was. And finally, I decided that, my belief system and how I wanted to present it was not exactly the same way as how I imagined it to be. And my passion was something else. So I decided to follow a different path. I went into advising, and I liked working with people. I was more of a people person. I was more of a social. I liked being around a community. I liked making a difference with a lot of people around me. I'm not a desk-bound person, so I liked moving around. Therefore, I chose this path. And again, advising, being around students and stuff gave me a lot of gratification. So then moving and then teaching, coming into this chess scenario, again, how chess came about is teaching my daughter, but then the person who actually put that in my head, I should mention her, was my gynae, Dr. Lisa Cousineau. She, one day when I was talking to her and we were having a conversation, she said, Kala, you're very, very passionate about chess, and it seems like you may make a difference through this game. And she said, you should pursue it. You might be able to do something different. Why don't you take it on to the next level? So that's when it kind of hit me. And I said, yeah, why not? So Dr. Lisa kind of started this whole thing. And I said, maybe I should try it. And that's how the chess started. And then we were looking at so many different avenues. First, it started with, taking kids for tournaments and showing what it can do and encouraging children. And you could see, it was building confidence, kids going and winning, playing as a team building, helping out with classes, so many different things. And then one of the things that I really saw at the beginning, or observation that I had about chess, was not many girls were in the program. If you go for any tournaments, you see 2,000, you go for nationals, you see 2,700 participants, out of which 400 of them were girls. And it seems like, at when the girls hit ages of like, the adults in age, like 11, 12, at that age group, a lot of them back down from chess. So I thought, okay, I need to start empowering girls in chess. So that's when, I became passionate about working with girls and making women in chess a big part of my program also. Then joined hands with United States Chess Federation. It became part of the U.S. Chess Women's Group, and now I'm one of the committee members, and I work with a group of excellent women in the U.S. Chess Federation. And during any of the nationals, we actually have a girls' room where we promote girls' chess, and we work with some of the great U.S. grandmasters who are U.S. Chess women grandmasters, who promote and encourage girls and tell them about why chess is good, why women should be playing chess, and give them all the encouragement and all the leadership skills, and make sure that we try to pull them into making chess, and normalize it, and make sure that the numbers are evening out between the girls and boys in future chess tournaments. So that's one of the things that I'm passionate about. And again, I work with one great group of women with U.S. women's chess. And one thing I should mention is, yes, chess is a men's world, and the United States Chess Federation, it's a huge men's organization, but our CEO is a woman. Carol Meyer, who is the CEO of U.S. Chess, is a woman, and she is one of my, one of the people that inspires me on a daily basis. And, whenever I need to reach out, or whenever I need anything that I need help with, she's always there. She encourages everyone, and she runs this organization without any problems. So she is inspiring, and she lets us all believe that women can do anything. And that should tell you that, anywhere in the world, if women, all of us, if we put our mind to something, we can make a difference, and, everything can be achievable, because again, nothing should stop us from doing anything. So Carol Meyer, who she doesn't play chess, but she's the CEO of United States Chess Federation, and she does an excellent job, and she runs it without any problem. So she, in fact, when I started the program for the detention center, which is another aspect of the work that I do with chess, I've done so many different categories. I've branched out the chess program into different categories: teaching classes, U.S. chess, promoting women in chess, and then we have community outreach program, and then we have detention center working with youth. This is how I've branched out the program, so that the way we do our Seva, or our work, we are actually making a difference in so many different fields. So Miss Carol Meyer, who is busy all throughout the year, when she heard that we were going to do this, she actually flew down to encourage me and helped me start the program at the Juvenile Detention Center in Ohio. So that shows you how dedicated she is as a person who encourages everything in the chess world and what we are doing. So that's one of the programs that I work with, that I'm passionate about, and I'm passionate about women's growth and women's growth in chess. And I'm encouraging all girls because, number one, chess does bring out the best in self-confidence. Chess does bring out the best in, in making you feel very good about making good decisions. So it helps you motivate yourself. It helps you gear up for challenges. So these are all good attributes for you to have in life. And you don't have to worry about tournaments. You don't have to worry about ratings. You don't, just use it as a principle in life. Use it as life lesson, which is what I'll take you to the next category of work that we're doing. So that's one of the work that I work with. Then the next project that I work is for my city, for the city that we live in, for the city that, our community. Bringing in, we have a lot of refugee kids here. We have a lot of inner city school kids who are good chess players, who do not have the resource to go elsewhere for big tournaments, because chess tournaments are expensive. And in Ohio, we do not have grandmasters, which is the highest level of chess to be, awarded with a chess. Grandmasters is the highest level you get in a chess to have a chess title. So in Ohio, we don't have grandmasters. So what we thought in our organization, which is my husband and I, what we decided to do is to encourage the inner city school kids to make sure that they have access to see grandmasters. We decided to host tournaments or to work with the city to bring in business for the city, is to partner with Downtown Acne Partnership and stuff to bring in grandmasters to do simul, to have tournaments over here. So our inner city kids can actually see grandmasters. So we fly them down, or we bring them from different states, and they come and do presentation, talk to the kids, sign books, give them, gifts, sign signatures and stuff, take pictures with them, and encourage these kids to show them where they can go in chess. And this not only brings recognitions to our city, it also puts the city out there. It's a good way of bringing community together, and also showcasing our city to the chess world. So that's one of the community outreach work that we are doing through our club. And then again, the next thing that we are very passionate about is youth work, and that's what I'm doing now.
A simple hobby that you probably picked up during your childhood, and look at the impact. My goodness, it is incredible.
Thank you.
Anything you want to add, Kala? I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, that's okay. So now the current one is the youth detention center. Did you want me to explain that?
No, absolutely. You can talk about it.
The last thing that we are working right now, that I work with right now, is impacting the youth detention centers. What we are doing is, trying to use chess as life lessons to try to not to teach youth in the detention center, so that they do not come back into the system, using it as a way of life to teach them that problem solving, and teaching them alternatives to figuring out how to make the right decision so that they're not back into the system. Because sometimes it's like a vicious cycle, they go out, they come back in, they go out, they come, because that's the only way they know, or it's like a cycle. Because again, most of them, it's because of impulsive behavior, anger. It's just something that, just continuously happens. And we're trying to break the pattern. And that's one of the work that I'm passionate about, because I believe that the youth are our future. And if the youth are taught, because they are definitely very, very important to our future, children are our future. And I literally mean it. I think that it's very important that we understand that. And kids are, are smart, and we do need to treat them like adults because they understand everything. The only difference that we have against them is the more years we have seniority against them. That's all. So we should treat them and teach them what we know and what we are wiser about. So if we present it well to them, I think they will be able to take it further. So through chess, I'm able to show them the life lessons. So the youth over in the detention center enjoy these classes because they're able to understand what the consequences are by seeing the action on the board. And it does make a big difference, because they actually they tell me that they actually see what's happening, because we talk about it. One of the youth recently was talking about, I usually talk to them and I ask them, what would you like to do when you leave from here? What are your plans for the future? What would you like to become? So one of the youth told me that he wants to become, if he can, he would like to become a police officer, a chief of police, or a family counselor. So while he was playing the game, he said he was doubtful, and I said, if you put out your mind to it, you definitely can become one of the careers that you plan to. All you have to do is believe in yourself. And while he was playing, he made a move, and I immediately stopped him and I said, that move that you just made shows me that if you did this move in your career path, you will not be able to be a police chief, because now you have put yourself in ways danger, because as you can see, a police chief would not do this to himself. However, if you were going to become a family counselor, now you have put yourself in such a way that a lot of people are going to be able to ask you, or you've opened yourself up for people to approach you and talk to you about their problems, because you are so approachable. So, you have opened yourself up in such a nice way for people to come to you for help. And he said, wow, I didn't realize that I could actually do that. And that was my decision. And I said, yeah, see, you can actually do it and you're capable of it. And this is how we use chess on a teaching scale to show life's lesson. And the kids actually resonate towards it. And it's very nice, because only 8 kids get to come down to see us for 1 hour. And what I hear is those 8 kids take what we teach and go back and share what we do with the rest in their floor, and they pay it forward. So the work or the volunteer work does not go for waste. So driving there 1 hour, teaching for 1 hour, driving back for 1 hour, it does not feel like it's a waste at the end of the day, because these kids really appreciate what we do. And those kids were very sweet, because they do a lot of work and they get paid. And one day they used that money to buy us gifts that said what we do makes a difference for them. They actually bought me a keychain and bought Hema, my daughter, a keychain. And they always appreciate it. And they always tell us, please don't leave. Can you stay with us? Can you stay and teach us more? So it does make us feel good, because we know that we're making a difference. And I think that if we can use this to implement in so many other juvenile centers, I think we may have a safer environment for our children, because kids do understand. And if we show them the right way, we will have a safer future, a better place.
Incredible, Kala. That is, and what you've said is absolutely true. It all starts with good judgment and decision making, and that's what these kids need. They need somebody that can invest that kind of time in them and
Mhm.
how it's done. And I think what better way than and fun way than to teach through the game of chess. So yeah, it's very, very inspirational. Thank you so much for sharing that. We'll move on to our next segment, which is the X Factor, where we talk about your other interests, hobbies, anything that you're interested in outside of chess, that you perhaps spend some time or are trying to cultivate. Is there anything that interests you?
So I like to read, love to binge watch shows, love to watch movies, family time together. I love to travel. My favorite time, obviously, is every other year going back home to Malaysia, hanging out with my sisters, hanging out with my cousins, um, traveling with the family, going for vacations. But mostly just talking with my sisters, we doing FaceTime, hanging out, that little few moments that we get to just talk with each other, talk about nothing, and just laughing is always the best hobby, I think. Um, and my sisters are usually my biggest critics, but they are always my best inspiration. My so hearing from them, having their feedback on everything, or just thinking about them, always makes me smile, makes me cry, makes me feel good about myself. Again, they are, my hobby would be just gossiping with them. So, and then having fun with my family, holidays, and again, reading about basically anything. I like fiction. I love fantasy books. So yeah.
Great. That's great. Nothing, no harm, nothing wrong in gossiping with your sisters. It sounds like it's like a lot of fun too.
Yes.
Right. So we'll move on to our next segment, which is self-care. It's my head was spinning when you were telling me about all the initiatives that you're into and the kind of work that you do. How do you take away from that on a day-to-day basis? What do you do to take care of your mental, physical, emotional, spiritual health? Are there any routines that you follow? Is there something that you do morning or evening to just make sure that you are recharged and recovered to move on?
So anyone who sees me will always say I'm like a nonstop energizer bunny, because I'm always on the move. I'm constantly moving. In fact, one of the kids in the detention center said that it's funny because he told me that I was carrying him, and I asked him why, and he said, "You move too fast. It's very scary." And I said, "Well, then you shouldn't pay attention to me. You should pay attention to the board. Then you won't be scared." So I guess I have this reputation of just being too fast, but um, I guess that's a way of self-soothing. I don't know, but what I do for myself is every morning I am actually very disciplined in my head, and that's my way. Since young, my parents have always taught me you should always have your, start your day with mantras. You always should get up feeling, good about yourself, start your day in positive notes. So before I get up from bed, I always chant my mantras. It's something that I do automatically. And then during my shower, I go through my list of things of my Google Calendar of what I should do and how I should do it. Right after that, I spend time in front of my altar and do all my pujas, which is very important to me because that basically is my meditation time. And that's my calming period where I actually think about everything that I am supposed to be grateful for. And, I pray for my family, and I think about everyone in Malaysia and everyone here. And then I start my day, and the day goes on. And then the night is my cooling off time. And the night, I never end my day without thinking about all the positive things of the day. And I have this habit of trying to make sure that even the negative or even I'll try to list things that did not go well and try to put a positive spin to it. What can I learn from it? Or what can I do better about it? And try to bring it to the next day to see how that can be made better, and look forward for the next day so that can be the challenge for the next day, and look forward for the next day. So it's always a positive thing. I know sometimes it can be very difficult, but that's what keeps me going and something to always look forward for. Sometimes it is very difficult, but we always have to be our best cheerleaders. And I think in this day and age, the best thing is never to look at news before you go to bed. Do not read the news. Do not, look at within yourself. Try to look at all the things that you feel good. Encourage yourself, be your best, and try to move with a positive spin before you go to bed. And then think about all your loved ones. Always think about your ancestors. And then go to bed feeling happy, and then thank for your day, and then start your next day with a positive note.
Awesome. That's great advice. Kala, any parting words before we end the show? I'm going to share some links to the Discovery Chess, the online lessons that you hold. So I'll drop that in the comment section in the description. And if there's anything else that you want to share, do share. I think there was an article written about you in the US Chess Federation.
Yes,
you of that, will be happy to share this with our audience as well.
Thank you. Parting word, I would just say, as I would ask everyone to always, do a lot of seva, always try to find what you are good at, and share it, encourage people to do volunteer work, share what you're good at with others, so that there'll be a lot of multiple of never hold back from sharing good attributes, so that what you're good at, there'll be 10 other people who can do that same thing, so that there'll be a lot of goodness being shared around all of us, so that the community will have a lot of positive individuals, and we can actually have a good environment, or a good place for our future, our children, and globally. I mean, we should have a very nice place for all of us to succeed, and for us all to live, and for people to feel safe. And we should have a good environment, a clean, energized bhumi for us to live in. So I think, it starts from home, starts locally, and then we should just pay it forward. So yeah, I think that's what we need to do.
Very well said. Very well said. No, I want to thank you so much for coming out today and sharing very important views and the work that you're doing. I think that definitely needs. So I'm really glad that you were able to join. To my viewers in my audience, if you like the content, if you like to see more women like Kala every Monday, please tune in, subscribe to this channel, share this with all the women in your life, and press that bell icon so you get more notifications. I will see you around next week with another guest. I want to thank Kala for coming out. I wish you all the very best. I hope you continue to do the great work that you're doing in our communities and making a difference in the true sense. Thank you, Kala.
Thank you so much, Anu.